At it again, and we've got to check out this clip that I came across. It's absolutely incredible. Had to share it with you guys. In this clip, it is Representative Eli Crane calling out mainstream media in spectacular fashion. I mean, it is incredible, and he touches on a few things that are 100% facts. I've also got another clip that's absolutely going to shock you guys and definitely going to put a smile on your face. So stick around. Stick around. As always, I've got several clips, okay, as you guys should be familiar with at this point. Usually with my videos, I put a lot of different clips into one video. So watch until the very end. You're not going to want to miss it, all right? Like, share, comment, and of course, well, first, shout out to everybody that comes and likes these videos. I greatly appreciate every single last one of you guys. It helps out with the algorithm, hitting that like button. Everyone that leaves a comment, even those folks that say when they leave a comment for the algorithm, right? I appreciate every single comment because likes help with the algorithm. Comments help out with the algorithm. Shout out to everyone that shares these videos. If you don't know how to share, it's the arrow button down below. You can click it, copy the link, and paste it on your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram, wherever. You can honestly also send it through text message to anyone as well. So thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. All right. But with that being said, let's dive in.
Thank you guys for coming. It's an honor to be here. Thank you, Matt and Ms. Stefanik, for leading on this. You know what I love about this? Watching where President Trump is at in the polls. I love it because it shows the American people don't trust you guys. And they shouldn't, because you guys are full of it and everybody knows it.
Facts.
There's a few honest journalists in this town, but they're very few and far between. You know how I know it wasn't an insurrection? Because he hasn't been charged with insurrection. And we can all see by the lawfare how he's facing up over 700 years in jail right now, how they've tried to destroy this man, destroy his businesses, that if they felt they had an inkling of a chance of convicting President Trump of jaywalking or insurrection, they would absolutely charge him. You know how else I know it's not
100% facts. Facts. I mean, listen, I think every Democrat in this country, or every independent, more so every independent, right, needs to see this clip. 100% facts right there. If Trump was actually guilty of it, he would be charged with it. He's charged with literally everything else. I mean, you name it. You name it. Right? Literally, the judge in where is that? New York, said that his property, Mar-a-Lago, is worth like basically pennies in comparison to what it's actually worth. And like everyone agrees that the number that the judge is saying, which I believe is like 18 or 17 million or something, it's just absolutely ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Like anybody with money, it ain't me. Now, if I had the cash, you know what I'm saying, I'll buy it in a heartbeat for the price that the judge said. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Come on now. Come on now. Craziness. But we all see it.
Or insurrection, they would absolutely charge him. You know how else I know it's not an insurrection? Because this is the first insurrection in the history of the world where the people that were a part of it were unarmed. It's pretty hard to do if you walk around and see how many individuals are carrying firearms. All right. Last thing I want to say about...
Real quick. I actually brought that up in a discussion with some individuals. I brought that fact up because they were like, well, Trump was, part of he incited the insurrection on January 6th, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, how in the world do you expect a few individuals, maybe not even a few, right? We'll say a few thousand. How do you expect a few thousand folks to walk into a building with no weapons and take over the most powerful military on this planet? Explain that one to me. People walking into a building like that all of a sudden constitutes taking over a government? That constitutes taking over the most powerful military on this planet? People with no weapons? And they all looked at me crazy. As if to say, like, I guess he is right. You know, I just wanted to share that little story real quick, but let's jump back in.
How I know it's not an insurrection is because I actually listened to the words of the president. If you're trying to stoke an insurrection, you don't tell the people listening, hey, I want you to go over there peacefully and patriotically. All right? This is not an insurrection. What it is a party that's scared to death of this man because he's America first, and he's shown time and time again he's willing to bust up the swamp, and he continues to beat you like a drum. That's what this is really about. And for all you journalists out there, you know, that are pretty cowardly, some in this room right now, you don't have the balls to write the truth. And even if you did, your publishers wouldn't publish it because you're a part of a propaganda outlet, probably one of the biggest in the history of the world. If you had any courage, I want you to ask some questions about that day, January 6th, that we keep talking about. Why has the pipe bomber not been caught yet? Huh?
Good question.
Why has the pipe bomber not been caught? The one individual that could have committed multiple mass casualties has not been caught yet. Go follow some of Beatty's reporting over at Revolver News. He's got some evidence for you guys. What's going on up here with January 6th is there's a pretty big cover-up actually going on up here in Capitol Hill about some of the involvement of our government. And it's quite unsavory. And I want to acknowledge Rep. Massey's work on this lately and others who have been trying to get to the bottom of it. But here's some other questions for you journalists to ask. Why did it take so long for Ray Epps to be charged? Go watch videos of Ray Epps on that day and how he was stoking the entire thing and how long it took him to be charged. And yet there were so many people that were brought into the DC jail, and they're still there to this day.
Good question.
So if you guys want to ask some questions, those are some questions. But the bottom line is we all know President Trump did not commit insurrection, and he's probably going to be the president of the United States once again. And so I'm happy to be a part of this resolution. I'm happy to support the president, and I'm happy to call out all you little cowardly liars in the press. Thank you.
And I'll be honest, I had never heard of Representative Eli Crane until I came across this video clip. But shout out to Eli Crane. Shout out to you, brother. We appreciate you. You're a true patriot, 100%. Never knew who the guy was. Never knew. And I'm sure there are others, you know, in Congress that I have no clue about that are true patriots. And hey, their time will come where, you know, just like Eli Crane with this clip, I will come across them. All right. I also want to show you guys this clip from CNN. And it is absolutely on point. I love that the truth is coming out. Listen to Geraldo Rivera destroy Democrats. Check it out.
You're killing democracy to save it. By what court has Donald Trump been found guilty of inciting a riot? You know, by what court has he been guilty of inciting an insurrection? There's been no finding. He was tried in the House of Representatives. They sent it to the Senate. The Senate tried him. He was acquitted of exactly what this insurrection incitement is. He was acquitted. There's been no finding. This is lawfare. This is substituting legal process for political gains. Keeping him off the ballot because you're afraid you can't beat him in a general election. I do not support Donald Trump. I think what Donald Trump did in the days leading up to January 6th and the riots of January 6th was appalling. That's why I turned my back on him. That does not mean the Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, which was designed for President Jefferson Davis of the Confederacy and the other people who were truly in insurrection against the government of the United States, should be banned from running for office. This does not mean a political candidate in this day and age. I think this is a really absurd by a narrow sliver, 4-3 in the Colorado Supreme Court. This is going to go to the Supreme Court of the United States, and I guarantee you can rerun this clip. When it happens, the Supreme Court of the United States will find Colorado did not have the right to take him off the ballot. For goodness sake, the leading candidate, EJ, he's the leading candidate by far. He's the only candidate, essentially in the long run here. But I just don't understand why they're so afraid of Donald Trump.
We'll play the clip back, Geraldo.
Do you, as one of the leading columnists for the Washington Post, compare the actions of President Jefferson Davis of the Confederacy to Donald Trump, the presidential candidate and former president? I cannot believe that. 600,000 people died. It was an insurrection by every measure. It was one of the bloodiest conflicts ever. It tore this country in shreds. Donald Trump is a lot of bad things. And I said at the beginning of this, I do not support him because of the bad things. But he has not been found guilty of insurrection in any court. And what you're trying to do is to prevent the voters from choosing who they want to be president. It is the pundits and it is the politicians who are absolutely trying to undermine the democratic process and say they are trying to save it as they try to kill it.
So
and
EJ,
I think, Abby, this will be revealed to be a fruitless effort as time goes on.
EJ, we got to go, but I want you to just...
I don't even need to play the rest of the clip. Hey, yo, that was incredible, right? I told you it was good. You know, but once again, the thing that I am jealous about Democrats is they can do that type of stuff, though. They can say that Trump is an insurrectionist without him actually having been guilty of inciting an insurrection, right? But that's because they repeat it a lot. They're all on the same page. That is one thing that I am jealous about when it comes to Democrats. They're all on the same page. And granted, it is good as Republicans that we all speak our mind and have our own thoughts and whatever else. But I do think the new Republican Party that will form true Republicans, right? When I say the new Republican Party, I mean like true Republicans, not the Mitch McConnells and the Kevin McCarthys. I mean like the Matt Gaetz, the Byron Donalds, the Eli Cranes, right? Shout out to Eli Crane, you know, like those guys and gals, Lauren Boebarts, the Marjorie Taylor Greens, right? I do feel like we have to get that type of messaging as well, because clearly it's effective. How many times have you guys heard someone say, oh, Donald Trump is an insurrectionist, without ever having thought about, well, he's never even been charged with insurrection or found guilty of it, let alone, right? But they've heard it so many times from everyone, including mainstream media, obviously, but all of the Democrat establishment, they all repeat the same stuff. They all say the same thing. Whenever there's messaging, they all say it. Like the most recent messaging was threat to democracy. How many times have you heard threat to democracy in the past 6 months? Countless times, right? More times than you can count. That's because they all say it. They all say it. Within their speeches, they all say that line, threat to democracy, threat to democracy. I think that's intentional. It has to be intentional, right? And I say I think that's intentional because obviously I don't have like any, secret relationships with any Democrats and like, hey, is this intentional messaging, right? This is just me from the outside looking in, right? That looks intentional because they're all saying it. They all said the same, this other messaging before. They all said this messaging before. They all repeated the same thing and now they're doing it again. Like that's intentional. But the reason why they are afraid, it's obvious. It's obvious. And you heard Eli Crane and Geraldo say it. They're afraid they can't beat him. They are afraid they cannot beat Donald Trump. That is why. Because think about it. If I can beat a guy, there's no need to try to take him off any ballots or anything. I'll just destroy him in the polls. As a matter of fact, I want that more than just taking him off the ballot. I want him demoralized. See, I'm a sports player, right? So, like, I think about things from, like, a sports perspective. Some of you guys can understand where I'm coming from with this. Any sports people out there, like, I want to destroy you, right? Not literally destroy you, you know what I mean? I want you to go home to your family, okay? Let's not mince words here, but like on the field of play, in the field of play, I want to destroy you. I want you so mentally broken that you don't even want to come back and play. You don't even want to come back, right? So I think about it from that perspective when it comes to like an election. Like I want to demoralize you. I want to demoralize you. I want you to lose so bad that you don't even want to go up against me again, right? But that's just my humble opinion on it. But, you know, check out this clip. This is why they're afraid.
Political correspondent Steve Kornacki. Steve, these are some truly stunning numbers.
They really are, Kristen. And let's just start with the bottom line. When you ask folks, hey, if it's the general election and it's Trump versus Biden, in our poll, Donald Trump now leads Joe Biden by 5 points. Compare that to the last time we polled back in November. Trump was ahead then, but it was only by 2 points. It's even more significant when you look at it this way. Over time, we have been testing for 5 years now, going back to 2019, a Biden-Trump matchup. Remember, 2019, 2020, Joe Biden led. He led big in every single one of our polls. For the first time in November, Donald Trump polled ahead in our poll, and now at 5 points, this is the biggest lead NBC has ever had in 16 polls for Donald Trump over Joe Biden. And, of course, undergirding all of this is this question of he is the incumbent, Joe Biden. We ask voters, what do you think of the job he's doing? And look at that, Kristen, 37% approve and now 60% disapprove.
And we should say that is the lowest approval rating since former President George W. Bush's second term.
Yeah, and it's put that in further context, too. Bush in his second.
And Biden is getting smoked in almost every major issue concerning American voters. On the border, Trump crushes Biden with a 35-point lead. Not surprised. Trump also leads Biden by more than 20 points on the economy. And Trump is ahead 21 points on dealing with crime. And there's more. Registered voters say they think Trump is twice as physically and mentally capable to serve as president over Biden. And recall the Biden campaign's trying to flip the script on that one. Doesn't appear to be working.
I mean, across the board, Biden is losing. Okay? Even amongst independents, because you guys remember, they tried to tell us that Trump is unelectable. Trump can't win in a general election. You know, he's too unlikable, right? So this is October 2020, right? October 2020. Amongst independents, Biden was leading plus 21. Now, January 2024, just last month, Trump plus 8. Trump plus 8. Okay. So what was that they were saying? That Trump can't win a general? Exactly. Even for example, which, I just want to show this just for, shits and giggles, right? Look at the race between him and Nikki Haley. Super Tuesday states, California, Trump plus 67. Like, this is a joke. Okay, genuine question. Have you guys ever seen, because for those that are new, I'm still new to politics. I've only been involved in politics for a couple of years now. I've made no secret about that. I've documented my entire journey right here on this channel. For those of you that are new, you can go back and watch the entire transformation, the entire journey. But have you guys ever seen numbers like this that we're seeing here? For those of you that have been blessed to be on this earth longer than I have, and have paid attention to politics a lot longer than I have you guys seen numbers like these before? Trump plus 67 in California, plus 69 in Texas, plus 54 in North Carolina, 59 in Virginia, 75 in Alabama, 41 in Massachusetts, 63 in Tennessee, 77 in Oklahoma. What? Have y'all ever seen numbers like that? Let me know. As a matter of fact, Nikki Haley lost yesterday in the Nevada primary. Now, in Nevada, the primaries don't matter. They don't count. Just for those that live in Nevada, make sure you participate in the caucus, okay? Just an FYI. But hold on, let me try to pull this up really quickly because it is hilarious. As a matter of fact, Nevada is currently trending right now. Right here. You see right there. Nevada is currently trending, okay? Literally trending. Let me see. Let's see here. Let me find a post. Well, here's one from Charlie Kirk. Breaking: Nikki Haley loses the Nevada primary to none of these. So they didn't allow Trump to be on the ballot, and you couldn't even write him in. So people were voting none of these candidates, and Nikki Haley lost to none of these candidates. Now, once again, the primaries don't mean anything in Nevada, which is why they were allowed to take Trump off. But that's just hilarious. You're out here trying to convince people that you can actually beat Trump when you couldn't even beat Trump when he wasn't even on the ballot. That's hilarious. But hey, y'all let me know what you thought about this one in the comment section below. Like, share, comment. Hit that subscribe button before you go. Peace and love. I'm out.